Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
Time for lineups and first pitch on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network.
Welcome into McKeon Park, where the Hyannis Harborhawks return home after swiping both games of the doubleheader against the Orleans Firebirds, now having won 3 in a row. They take on Eastern Division foe in the Harwich Mariners with aspirations of making it 2 victories in as many tries over the Eastern Division leaders. Harborhawks baseball starts right now. Hi, everybody. I'm Lyle Goldstein, joined alongside Robert Marcello on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Rob, the Harborhawks have all the momentum swinging their way right now. It's been almost a week since they've suffered a loss. What's going to be the key to defeating Harwich tonight?
I think you have to continue to do the same thing they've been doing the past week. Really, Lyle, as you mentioned, I think continuing to pitch very well is good for the Harborhawks. All the games they really won, the pitching's been very good. and also hit. I think continuing to get guys on base early and continuing to move guys over.
Harbor Hawks send out Wright State right-hander Jeremy Randolph to the mound tonight to make the start for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in what's his first start of the summer. So far on the year, he's 1-0 with a 4.26 ERA in 6 1/3 innings pitched. He's walked 2 and struck out 10. First man for the Harwich Mariners he'll see tonight is Cam Thompson, the Kansas State second baseman, and one of the hottest hitters on the Cape right now. He'll be followed by Chris Gallen, the Boston College left fielder. Tanner Morris out of Virginia hitting third and playing shortstop. Andre Lipsius doing the cleanup job for the Mariners. He's out of Tennessee playing first base tonight. As Thompson steps into the left-handed side of the box, play is called. Randolph goes from the set. First pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. Aaron Shunk, the Georgia third baseman, hitting fifth. Gabe Rivera out of Miami playing right field. Mason Meadows out of Georgia catching and hitting seventh as Randolph from the set fires to Thompson, who swings and fouls it off the net behind home plate. Rounding out the 8-9, Indiana center fielder Matt Gorski and Ben Norman out of Iowa will do the designated hitting. Randolph's in an 0-2 count. Working again from the set. Wheels and fires. Runs outside for ball one. So far on this summer, Cam Thompson hitting .361, 2 RBIs, also 6 walks on the young summer. Randolph's got him in a 1-2 count. The pitch misses away again, now 2-2. Infield playing back. Third baseman in Wenzel playing off the line to his left at third. As Randolph sets, comes home with a 2-2, a swing and a foul out of play down the left side. Well, Cam Thompson, a freshman All-American in 2017, in what was his first year at Kansas State as a Wildcat. He hails from Clear Lake, Texas. Randolph now comes back. The 2-2 breaking ball misses just away. So 2 quick strikes from the right-hander in Randolph, but now finds himself in a full count. Thompson, second on the team in walks, as I mentioned, with 6. Casals leads with 10 to his name. Now the 3-2, fastball just outside for ball 4. Thompson draws his 7th walk of the summer, and the first man to the plate for the Harwich Mariners tonight reaches base in the top of the first.
Not a good start from Randolph. You know, anytime you want to start off the first batter with a strikeout, or you just want to get the first out, a leadoff walk's never good. It gives the other team some momentum.
Only the 3rd walk of the summer issued by Randolph. Thompson stolen 2 bases on the summer as Jeremy checks him at first. The first pitch is a breaking ball to the number 2 hitter, Gallen, who sends a high fly ball out to right center field. Trevor Hauver tracking over to his right, settles under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Retreating back to first base in time is Thompson. Well, the Harbor Hawk defense for you tonight. Davis Wenzel playing third base out of Baylor. Alec Trella at shortstop, the Memphis product. Braden Como, we've seen a lot of him at second base so far on this young summer. Out there again today. Brady Lindsley, the Oklahoma man, over at first base, holding on the runner. Randolph checks Thompson. The first pitch in is a ball inside to Virginia shortstop Tanner Morris. And from left to right, respectively, in the outfield, Todd Lott from Louisiana Lafayette, Tommy Jew out of UCSB, and Trevor Hauver in right from Arizona State. Kyle Wilkie, the Clemson product, behind the dish tonight for the Harbor Hawks, as Randolph throws over, but back safely is the runner in Thompson. I mentioned Thompson being a hot hitter so far on this young summer. How about Tanner Morris? 414, 12 hits, 3 for extra bases. He takes a strike from Randolph to even the count. Well, we know Jeremy can strike some guys out. Has 10 punch-outs to his name already in just 6 in a 3rd inning. Wenzel still behind the bag at 3rd. As Randolph picks off and is called safe at first base by the first base umpire, Mike Beal. Thompson got a late dive back to the bag. Lindsley thought they had him over there, but the runner Thompson just getting his left hand in.
Great awareness by Randolph to be able to throw over.
Keeping a close eye on Thompson, the leadoff man for Harwich. As the hitter Morris wiggling that bat above his left shoulder as he swings and sends it foul down the left field line. Umpire asks for a new ball from the Hyannis ball boy, gets a couple as Randolph steps off and resets. Well, in his 2018 campaign at Wright State, Randolph threw 49 and a third innings, had a 2.55 ERA in 27 appearances, struck out 61 hitters. He's got 2 strikes to the hitter in Morris as he throws over again, but diving back in time is Thompson. But Tanner Morris, the left-handed hitter, looking to advance the runner in Thompson and get a little bit of a rally going for Harwich in the first. He swings and sends a chopper foul down the third base line. Wenzel backhands it and just throws it right back to Randolph as the ball was called dead. Thompson retreats back to first. Randolph takes a lap around the mound. But Morris steps back into the box. Thompson with another large lead over at first. Como playing a little bit up the middle. As Thompson takes off, the pitch is a swing and a high pop up into short left field. Coming in is Todd Lott into foul ground, but can't make the play. And that will be a foul ball. Staying alive and gaining new life is the hitter in Morris as Thompson retreats back to first again.
Law looked like he was going to be able to go retrieve that ball. I think maybe the sunlight got in the way of it.
He definitely looked like he had a beat on it off the bat, but slowed up a little bit as it came into foul ground and dropped in front of his feet. But Harwich's best hitter in Tanner Morris gains a new life back into the box. Randolph sets right at the chest level, comes home, a swing and a foul right behind home plate. Chad Gassman comes out of the dugout to have a couple of words. I think he's arguing that Wilkie might have squeezed that ball right into his mitt and that the hitter in Morris should be out. Now the umpire is getting together to have a quick conference about it. Well, Wilkie didn't give much of an argument after the ball. But the umpire's talking some things over. Morris just digging his way around the batter's box. They now break, and the call will stand. Morris still the hitter. Ball did indeed hit the ground. Count still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harwich has a man on first as the leadoff hitter in Thompson walked to start the ball game. Randolph sets again, eyes Thompson. He throws over, picked out of the dirt by Lindley, doesn't get by him, and the runner Thompson back safely.
Thompson taking a bigger lead than Randolph would like, as he's thrown over a bunch of times, really paying attention to him.
Now the 2-2. A swing and another foul down the left field line. Tanner Morris putting together quite the at-bat, fouling off a handful of pitches from Randolph. Morris has just 4 walks on the year. As Randolph sets, Thompson takes off again. Throw down to second by Wilkie to Trella. Way in time to gun down the runner Thompson. Kyle Wilkie throwing a strike down to second base. Trella catches it quickly and puts down the tag on the leadoff man Thompson. He's sat down, and now there are 2 outs with the count 2-2 to the number 3 hitter in Morris.
Great throw by Wilkie, being able to throw down. The catchers for the Harbor Hawks so far this year have done a great job.
Well, Morris hit .298 in his 2018 campaign with 2 home runs at Virginia. A swing and a miss through the 2-2 pitch from Jeremy Randolph, and that'll do it for the Mariners in the top of the first. The Wright State right-hander faces the minimum as Kyle Wilkie helps him out with a throw him out down to second as Alec Trella put down a beautiful tag, and the Harbor Hawks will now come up in the bottom of the first looking to strike first in this young ball game. We'll be back right after this here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Let's get you back to the game.
Back inside McKeon Park for the bottom half of the first inning, the Harbor Hawks set to go to bat for the first time in this ball game, as they'll square off against Stanford right-hander Will Matheson, making his first appearance on the mound for the Harwich Mariners this summer. Is primarily a hitter, as he'll face Tommy Jew as he swings at the first pitch and sends a high looping fly ball down the right field line, giving chase the first baseman in Lipsius, but can't get there. And the count now 0-1.
Lipsius there, unable to get the ball as it just pops just over his shoulder.
Well, Matheson, in his 2018 campaign at Stanford, he threw 18 innings, all of them coming out of the bullpen, posted a 2-1 record with a 2 ERA in 13 appearances. The next pitch to Jew is a swing and a ground ball right to the shortstop. Morris fields it cleanly, throws it on a hop, and Jew is retired at first for out number 1. So 1 out here for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the first. As your lineup tonight for Hyannis, as Braden Como steps to the plate, hitting second in the order. Davis Wenzel will be hitting third. Seth Gray in the cleanup spot. Trevor Hoover hitting fifth and playing right field. Todd Lott, the hero of Game 2 in yesterday's doubleheader, hitting sixth, as Matheson's first pitch to Como is down in the dirt for ball 1. The 7-8-9 for Hyannis, Brady Lindsley out of Oklahoma, Kyle Wilkie from Clemson, and Alec Trella out of Memphis, who applied the tag on the caught stealing in the top of the first. Como takes a fastball that runs outside. Count now 2-0. Braden comes into the game hitting 300 on the summer. Takes a ball inside from Matheson, quickly ahead, 3-0. Como made a nice defensive play late in the ball game yesterday against the Orleans Firebirds as he takes a strike to move the count to 3-1. Ball took him off to his left, made a diving stop, threw it from his knees over to first. And in what was a 3-2 win for the Harbor Hawks, ended up being a very crucial play as he checks his swing and sends one foul and out of play. He now sits at a 3-2 count. Matheson sets and goes from the windup. The right-hander kicks and fires the payoff pitch. Swinging a line drive into left field. Coming in is Gallen, makes the catch on the run, and Como sat down for out number 2.
Como with an absolute laser out to left field. They're unable to get a base hit.
The rest of the defense for the Mariners tonight, Shunk playing third base out of Georgia, Tanner Morris at shortstop, Cam Thompson at second base, Andre Lipsius at first, and in the outfield from left to right, Chris Galland, Matt Gorski, and rounding out everything in right field will be Gabe Rivera as Davis Wenzel takes a strike. Matheson now working very quickly to the Baylor product, comes back with a breaking ball, catches the corner for strike 2. So Davis Wenzel finds himself in an 0-2 count. Wenzel comes back with another off-speed pitch, misses away. Wenzel didn't record a hit in game 2 of the doubleheader against the Firebirds, but did issue a walk as he swings and sends a high fly ball down the left field line, coming into foul ground as the left fielder in Galland and watches it sail out of play and onto the hill here at McKeon Park. So Wenzel put a charge into that one, but just hooked it a little bit to the left. Wenzel hit over 300 in 2018 at Baylor, but currently just a .212 average on this young Cape League summer as he sends another pitch foul, this time right behind home plate. We've seen Wenzel play some shortstop when Seth Gray's playing at third, but with Seth DHing tonight, Wenzel finds himself at the hot corner as he turns away and takes a ball inside. Matheson couldn't locate that curveball, and the count now moves to even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gets his sign from the catcher, comes back, and Wenzel sends a high pop up into foul ground down the left field line. This one staying in the ballpark, tracking it down is Chris Galland, and makes the catch to send the Harbor Hawks down 1-2-3. No runs through the first inning here at McKeon Park. Jeremy Randolph toes the slab for inning number 2 right after this here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
Listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voices of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein and Robert Marcello.
Jeremy Randolph back out for inning number 2 for the Harbor Hawks, set to face Andre Lipsius, Aaron Schunk, and Gabe Rivera. The right-handed hitter in Lipsius into the box. Randolph sets and fires home. Called strike. First pitch off speed right at the knees. Lipsius on the young summer, hitting .250, 11 for 44, as he checks his swing, but the pitch called a ball did not go around. Oh, now they check his swing. Wilkie appeals down to first, and the first base umpire says he did go around. That was Mike Beal. So now Lipsius finds himself in an 0-2 count. Randolph comes home. That pitch called the ball, low and outside. But Lipsius having a strong year at Tennessee this season, hit .275, had 11 doubles to his name. Randolph, the 1-2, fastball in. Now moves to 2-2. Ball got away from the catcher Wilkie a little bit. Lipsius started all but one game this season for the Volunteers. He led the team with 19 multi-hit games. It's Randolph ready. The 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Randolph records his second strikeout of the evening and punches out the first man here in the top of the second.
Great pitch by Randolph, starting the same way that he started the first inning, off in the second. Really been effective using his pitches.
So if you go back to that first inning, Randolph's now recorded back-to-back strikeouts. as third baseman Aaron Shunk out of Georgia steps in. Another right-hander for the Harwich Mariners as he swings at the first pitch and sends a towering fly ball into short right field. Coming in is Trevor Hover, calling everybody off, and he makes the catch on the run, about 15 feet onto the outfield grass for out number 2. Wind playing a little bit of a factor here tonight at McKeon Park, so Hover's hat flew off coming in, but fights off the wind and settled under it no problem. As in steps Gabe Rivera, the Miami right fielder. Randolph continuing to work from the set. Kicks and fires the first pitch, swinging a ground ball right back up the middle for a base hit. Gabe Rivera on at first base as the Mariners check in with their first hit of the evening, as Rivera starts a little bit of a 2-out rally in the top of the second.
Randolph had to get out of the way of that ball coming up the middle. Unfortunately, unable to get a piece of it as it got in the outfield.
That brings up Mason Meadows. Also plays his ball at Georgia. So the two Athens baseball players in Shunk and Meadows sandwiched together by Gabe Rivera, who stands at first base. As Randolph steps off the mound, taking a couple steps back to the bag is Rivera. But now getting his lead again, being held on by Brady Lindsley. Randolph comes home to the hitter in Meadows, takes a strike inside. Meadows, in his 2018 campaign at UGA, hit .289, had 41 hits, 3 of them for long balls. Randolph the set, and the 0-1 on the way, a swing and a miss, right through a fastball. And ahead of the count now, 0-2. Still 0-0 here at McKeon Park in the top of the second. Just one hit recorded by both teams combined as the hitter Meadows sends a ground ball foul down the right field line. The ground ball single up the middle by Rivera was the first hit of the evening. Harbor Hawks went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. The Mariners leadoff man and Cam Thompson walked but was caught stealing, and Randolph faced the minimum in the top of the first. Now the runner Rivera takes off. Wilkie throws down to second, left of the bag, and sliding in safely is the runner Rivera, as the Mariners have their first man in scoring position of the night. So Rivera getting a good jump on that one, taking off right away. Wilkie's throw a little bit low and offline. It was picked out of the dirt by Braden Como. And that'll be ball 1 to the hitter in Meadows, but Randolph still just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning unscathed. He checks the runner. The 1-2. Fastball just outside, and the count evens. Meadows drove in 25 runs at Georgia this season, but is yet to produce an RBI here out on the Cape. He's 0 for 7 so far on the summer, as he swings and fouls that next offering out of play on the right side. These Mariners hitters staying aggressive early against Jeremy Randolph. They're fighting off a lot of pitches and really totaling his pitch count. He sets, checks the runner. The next offering misses low and outside. Another full count for Jeremy Randolph. 3-2 the count. 2 outs, a man on second. Still a 0-0 ball game. Infield playing back. Randolph taking a long look at the hitter in Meadows. He sets the 3-2, swing and a miss on an off-speed for strike 3. Jeremy Randolph records his 3rd strikeout of the night and puts up a 0 in the top of the second against the Harwich Mariners. Hyannis comes to bat in the bottom of the second. Due up for the Harbor Hawks will be the 4-5-6 Seth Gray, Trevor Hover, and Todd Lott. They'll be up when we get back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voices of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein and Robert Marcello.
Seth Gray steps into the left-handed side of the batter's box to lead off the bottom of the second against Mariners right-hander Will Matheson as he swings at the first pitch and sends a high pop-up on the infield to the left side. Calling everybody off is the shortstop, moving off to his left in Morris to make the catch for the first out. One pitch, one out for Will Matheson, the Stanford product. He retires Seth Gray, who's arguably been the hottest hitter on this Harbor Hawks ball club through the first 13 games of the summer.
He sure has unable to get a pitch that he liked. So unfortunately swing at the first pitch, and it was a pop fly out.
Matheson retires the first 4 Harbor Hawks hitters as his first pitch to Trevor Haaver is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Trevor comes into today hitting .238, had a hit in yesterday's game. That was game 2 against the Orleans Firebirds. He checks his swing, and it's a called strike anyway with the pitch by home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. And the Arizona State product Trevor Haaver quickly behind 0-2. Matheson goes from the windup. The 0-2 to Haaver, off speed, misses away. Haaver 5 for 21 on the summer, has a home run. That came against Katuitt over a week ago. Breaking ball from Matheson, misses low and outside. Trevor Haaver battling his way back into this at bat. Count now even. The 2-2 from Matheson, swinging a foul behind home plate and off the bricks at McKeon Park. Well, Haaver in his freshman year at ASU, he hit .227. Didn't record a long ball at Phoenix Municipal Stadium or on the road for that matter. Of course, those dimensions down in Tempe, more than substantial, 345 down each respective line. The next pitch to Haaver misses in the dirt, full count. Trevor got off to a hot start. His average got as high as 315. He had 5 extra base hits to his name and 12 walks. Now the 3-2 misses low for ball 4. Trevor Haaver starts things off with an 0-2 count, works his way all the way back, and now draws a 1-out walk. First man reaches for the Harbor Hawks this evening. Haaver on first with Todd Lott stepping to the plate.
Great job by Haaver being able to be disciplined at the plate, being the first Harbor Hawk on today.
We've seen Harwich do that a little bit in the early going. They've fouled off a lot of pitches. Haaver stayed alive with one, then he fouled behind home plate. And now Todd Lott, the right-handed hitter, steps in with Haaver getting his lead at first. Matheson now from the set. The first pitch to Lott is a swing and a miss. Well, Todd Lott, the undisputed hero from yesterday's game in Game 2. He came in the 6th inning and hit a solo shot. That was on a frozen rope to left center field to tie the game, as the pitch from Matheson misses in the dirt and outside. Then he comes up in extra innings and hits an opposite field home run to right field, and those are no small dimensions at Eldridge Park by any standards, but into the bullpen in right center field, flashing that opposite field power again like he did in Katuitt, much like his teammate Haaver, who idles at first base. The pitch to Lott. Misses away. Ball 2, the count. Also a strike to the Louisiana Lafayette product. But Todd Lott, to wrap things up, 2 solo shots in yesterday's game in what was a 3-2 win for the Harbor Hawks over the Firebirds. He's got 3 home runs on the summer. That's tied for 3rd on the island. Matheson comes home. Lott checks his swing and squiggles one foul down the first base line. The count 2-2 to Lott. Oklahoma product Brady Lindsley waiting on deck. As home plate umpire Jeff Kinney brushes off the mound, but now gets back to his spot right behind the catcher in Meadows. Mariners second baseman and Thompson shifted over to his right, playing a little bit more up the middle with a nice hole on the right side for Lott. Swings at the next pitch and sends it foul behind home plate. Count still at 2-2, and the left fielder staying alive. We've seen that from the Harbor Hawks hitters so far in the bottom of the second. We saw Hoover foul off a couple of pitches, and now Lott doing more of the same. Matheson giving him a healthy dose of off-speed stuff. Clearly read the scouting report, especially from yesterday's game. The 2-2 to Lott. Swing and a miss. Chases one in the dirt for strike 3. He punches out for out number 2 in the bottom of the second, bringing up Brady Lindsley.
Lott unable to keep up on that swing and a miss ball in the dirt. Just dropped in the zone.
So Lindsley, a left-handed hitter, takes a couple of practice swings outside the box. As Matheson stepped off the mound after recording his first strikeout of the young ball game. Now back in, works from the set. Checks Hoover at first and now comes home. A swing and a miss from Brady Lindsley on the first pitch. Well, Lindsley hit .262 at Oklahoma this season, just a lone home run, although we saw him hitting a couple of tanks in batting practice, put one over the scoreboard earlier this afternoon. The 0-1 from Matheson, a swing and a miss again from Lindsley. Chases one just off the plate on the outer half, and now behind 0-2. Lindsley 2 for 9 so far on the summer. Got here a little bit later than the majority of this ball club. Oklahoma went 38-25 this season. Swings and sends a high pop up on the left side and foul. Tracking it down is Shunk for the third out of the inning. So the Harbor Hawks can't muster anything in the bottom of the second. Hoover reaches via the walk, but that'll be it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on. We'll be back for the third inning right after this on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein.
Jeremy Randolph back on the mound for inning number 3, set to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters of the Harwich Mariners. Starting things off, Indiana center fielder Matt Gorski. Randolph from the set, first pitch breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Gorski hitting .250 this summer, 4 for 16. His first time seeing Randolph. The 0-1 misses inside. The count evens. Randolph already with 3 strikeouts so far in today's ball game. Came into today with 10 in just 6 1/3 innings. As Gorski swings at a hanging breaking ball right back up the middle for a base hit. He's on it first as the Mariners record their 2nd hit of the evening. Nobody out in the top of the 3rd. And stepping to the plate, the number 9 hitter in Ben Norman. Norman plays his college ball at Iowa, doing the designated hitting tonight for the Mariners. This will also be his first time seeing Randolph. Randolph sets, checks the runner. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Cuts right through that one. Ben Norman, 9 for 32, has a lone RBI to his name. Wenzel playing even with the bag at 3rd, a little bit off the line. The pitch from Randolph, right at the knees for strike 2. Norman just watched that one go by and quickly behind. Alec Trella playing a little bit to his left. Como off to his right, so trying to take away anything up the middle. Also playing the steal. Randolph quickly steps off the mound to reset. He checks the runner at first. Now comes home. Misses outside for ball 2. 1-2 the count now to the hitter in Norman. A slight wind here at McKeon Park. Moving from left to right. Randolph again from the set. Comes home with the 1-2, misses away. Count moves to 2-2. As he gets his sign from the catcher in Wilkie. Throws over to first, but back to the bag in time as the runner in Gorski. This is Norman at the plate. Randolph looking to record the first out of the inning after issuing a hit to start things off in the 3rd. Comes home with the next pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 3. Ben Norman goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the evening for Jeremy Randolph. Blew that fastball right by the number 9 hitter from the Mariners. And now has an out here in the 3rd. Cam Thompson steps in, who's yet to record an official at-bat today. Walked to lead things off in the 1st, but was gunned down trying to steal 2nd by Kyle Wilkie. Randolph sets, checks the runner. Throws over again, but Gorski's back safely. Cam Thompson came into the game hitting .361 on the summer. That's where his average currently sits after the walk in the 1st. The pitch on the way, misses upstairs. That .361 average from Thompson, surprisingly, only 3rd on the ball club. Tanner Morris leading things, coming into the game with a .414 average. The leadoff hitter Thompson wiggling that bat. The runner takes off, swing and a miss. Throw down from Wilkie to Trella, and it'll be in time for out number 2. Another beauty from home to 2nd by the catcher and Kyle Wilkie. Low and right on the money to Alec Trella again, who applies a quick tag. And now Jeremy Randolph's got himself 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. A 1-1 count to the hitter in Thompson. The pitch on the way, breaking ball right at the letters for strike 2. Well, Randolph, the last time he faced Harwich, he threw 2 scoreless frames. He did not allow an earned run make that. Misses down to Thompson. Now 2-2 the count. Only allowed 2 hits in that outing. Struck out 3. Already has 4 punch outs here tonight. Looking to make it 5 right here. The 2-2 down in the dirt for ball 3. The count now is filled to Cam Thompson, one of the most dangerous hitters on the island. The infield playing back, outfield straight up. Randolph sets the 3-2 on the way, swinging a high pop up to the left side and into short left field. Alec Trella coming over off to his right, makes the catch and foul, ground for out number 3. And Jeremy Randolph once again faces the minimum here in the top of the third, getting some help from his catcher, Kyle Wilkie. Score still 0-0 here through 2.5 frames. We'll be back in the bottom of the third right after this on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein.
The Harbor Hawks set to have their 8, 9, and 1 hitter step to the plate, much like the Harwich Mariners did in the top of the third, as we now sit in the bottom of the third, as Will Matheson's first pitch to Clemson catcher Kyle Wilkie is taken inside for a ball. Wilkie making his first plate appearance of the night. First time this summer seeing Matheson, who winds and fires the next pitch in there for strike 1. Well, Wilkie had a brilliant season at Clemson, hitting .324, had 70 hits on the year. He swings at the next pitch and sends it foul down the right field line. Matheson now sits with a 1-2 count. Had the highest batting average on the Clemson ball club, second on the team in hits, and second in on base. The 1-2 from Matheson misses upstairs. Kyle Wilkie continuing that hot hitting into this young summer for the Harbor Hawks, hitting .285, 4 for his first 14. He swings and sends another ball foul down the right field line and out of play. Wilkie's also been a force behind the plate tonight, already gunned down 2 runners attempting to steal. Cam Thompson in the first, and then Matt Gorski in the third. As Matheson drops a hanging breaking ball, breaks right into the zone for strike 3. Kyle Wilkie just watches it go by right at the letters, and he's sent down for the first out of the third. So Matheson, that breaking ball starting up and out of the zone, looked like it was going to hang up for a minute, but dropped right at the letters, and Wilkie sat down. Second strikeout for Will Matheson as Alec Trella swings at the first pitch of his at-bat and sends it foul up and over the press box here behind home plate. The Stanford right-hander has 1 swinging strikeout to his name and 1 looking. The next pitch to Trella misses low and outside as the count evens. Alec Trella's gotten off to a slow start in this summer, 2 for his first 15. Although he recorded a hit in yesterday's doubleheader as he swings and sends 1 foul off the netting. That came in game 1 against the Orleans Firebirds, where the Harbor Hawks took that game 7-3. Trella singled and produced an RBI in the third, was hit by a pitch in the fourth and walked in the sixth as he takes a ball off the zone from Matheson. 2-2 the count to the Memphis shortstop. Looking to pick up his third hit of the summer as Matheson comes home, misses low and outside again. Another off-speed pitch. Trella finds himself in a full count, trying to be the first man to reach for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the third. The payoff pitch, fastball right on the outside corner for strike three. Trella did nothing but watch it go by. 2 looking strikeouts and back-to-back punch-outs for the right-hander Matheson to start the bottom of the third inning. 2 down as the Harbor Hawks turn the order over as UC Santa Barbara center fielder Tommy Jew steps into the right-handed side of the box. Jew grounded out to short in his first at-bat. He wiggles that bat far behind his right shoulder as he takes a ball up and out of the zone. Well, Tommy Jew last summer played in the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and he had some type of summer up there where he was named the league MVP, played for the Mystic Schooners. Followed that up with a good sophomore year, hit .312, 5 long balls to his name, 68 hits with 18 of them coming from extra bases. Swings at the next pitch and sends a low line drive out to short. Moving a foot over to his right is Morris, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Harbor Hawks go down in order in the bottom of the third. 0-0 the score at McKeon Park through 3 innings of play. And Jeremy Randolph making his way back out for inning number 4. We'll get you all that action and more when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
Back inside McKeon Park here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. I'm Chris Lucey. Thank you for joining us. Quick little around the league update. Not much to report. The Brewster Whitecaps and Orleans Firebirds have yet to get underway in the only other league game going on today. This Around the League update was brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, a member of leading hotels in the world, Chatham Bars Inn. Now let's get you back to the game with today's play-by-play voice, Lyle Goldstein.
Well, we're back here in the top of the 4th inning. Jeremy Randolph set for inning number 4 against the Harwich Mariners, seeing these guys for the second time around. And he'll start off with Chris Galland as he drops in a breaking ball for strike 1. Galland plays his ball at Boston College, manning left field for the Mariners tonight. Wiggling that bat above his right shoulder. Swings at the next pitch from Randolph and comes up empty for strike 2. So Chris Galland had a couple of putouts to his name so far. Caught a line drive from Braden Como in the first, also a fly ball from Davis Wenzel back in that first inning, as he watches a fastball miss way outside from Randolph, and the count moves to 1-2. Galland, 11 hits on the summer, one of them for a long ball. Also 3 RBIs to his name. The 1-2 from Randolph. Misses inside for ball 2. Galland on this young summer hitting .268. Randolph comes from the set. The 2-2, a breaking ball swung on and fouled back behind home plate. Well, Galland, in 2018, a .316 average at Boston College, 18 runs batted in. The set from Randolph. The next offering checks his swing, appeal down to first, and does not go around, says first place umpire Mike Beal. Count moves to full. Jeremy Randolph's found himself in a handful of full counts so far in the early going, but it's been nearly a blip on his radar as he's allowed just 2 hits in this ball game. A swing and a ground ball out to the shortstop. Trella bobbles it a little bit, recovers in time, and the throw on to first is a bang-bang play, but retired is Gallen for out number 1 in the top of the 4th.
Randolph continuing to get in these 3-2 counts, but he's been able to get out of them every single time with a strikeout or a ground ball.
Strikeouts have been his bread and butter tonight. 4 so far. Also recorded a couple of flyouts as he now stares down arguably the hottest hitter in the Cape in Tanner Morris as he takes a ball outside. Morris struck out swinging in the first. That's his only at-bat of the day up to this point, as the game still remains 0-0 with 1 out. The pitch, swinging a hard ground ball right to Braden Como at second, who fields it on a knee, throws over to first to Brady Lindsley, way in time for out number 2. And Braden Como records the second out here for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 4th. Jeremy Randolph continuing to roll through the Mariner lineup.
Randolph with another great pitch, getting a guy to roll over for a ground ball.
Back-to-back ground outs to start the 4th for the right-hander out of Wright State. And so now face Andre Lipsius out of Tennessee. His first pitch, a called strike. Something interesting about Randolph is we've brought this up a couple of times before with a handful of different pitchers on the Cape. Despite nobody being on base, more comfortable for him to go right from the set, as he counters with a fastball that misses low for a ball. But Lipsius doesn't like to go from the windup, doesn't want to have that long motion in his delivery, prefers to be quick and right to the plate. Often we'll see that out of relievers, as he spent all his time as a reliever for Wright State this past season, as Lipsius sends one foul behind home plate. One and 2 the count to the first baseman for the Harwich Mariners. The infield playing back. Randolph sets at the chest, the 1-2, a swing and a foul out of play down the right side. Lipsius sporting a .244 average on the summer. Had just 1 home run at Tennessee this season. The pitch from Randolph misses just away for ball 2. Lipsius, not your prototypical first baseman with an immense amount of power, slugged just .368 at Tennessee, although produced 53 hits and a .275 average. Swings at that pitch and sends it foul down the left field line. Jeremy Randolph came back with some off speed, but Lipsius fights it off, and the count stays at 2-2. Harbor Hawks and Mariners deadlocked in a 0-0 ball game with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. The 2-2 pitch from Randolph, swinging a line drive back up the middle, past the glove of Alec Trella and into center field for a base hit. Lipsius takes a hard turn around first, but now retreats back to the bag. Mariners record their 3rd base hit of the evening and have a man on first with 2 outs. Aaron Shunk stepping to the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field in his first at-bat. That brought Trevor Hoover way in. Continuing to play deep in right field, about 25 feet out in front of the wall, despite it being a right-handed hitter in Shunk, as he swings and waves right through that first pitch for strike 1. Jeremy Randolph starting him off with a fastball right at the letters. Getting a 2.5 step lead at first. Now makes it out to 3 as the runner in Lipsius. Randolph checks on him, but comes home, and fighting it off and sending it foul is the hitter in Shunk out of Georgia. Shunk hit just under 300, 299 to be exact, in 2018 down in Athens. had 3 home runs and 38 RBIs as he sends a line drive into left center field, dropping in front of Todd Lott for a base hit. Moving up 90 feet is Lipsius to second base, and the Mariners have recorded back-to-back 2-out singles in the top of the 4th, and now have something brewing with right fielder Gabe Rivera stepping to the plate.
Randolph getting 2 quick outs in this inning, unable to be able to get out of it so far, letting up 2 consecutive hits.
Recorded 2 straight ground outs, but is now allowed back-to-back singles. Rivera steps in, the right-handed hitter, set to face the right state right-hander in Randolph. First pitch breaking ball, a weak ground ball right to Davis Wenzel at third, fields it cleanly, throws across for out number 3. So the Mariners produced 2 hits in the top of the 4th, but can't capitalize as Rivera with a weak ground out to end the inning, and Randolph with another 0 has cruised through 4 innings of work against Harwich. Hyannis comes up in the bottom of the 4th in a 0-0 ball game, and we'll have that for you right after this here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voices of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein and Robert Marcello.
Harbor Hawks set to send their 2-3-4 hitters to the plate to face Stanford right-hander Will Matheson in the bottom of the 4th. Braden Como, the first man to the plate, takes a strike right down central on a fastball from Matheson. Hyannis still yet to record a hit in this young ball game as Matheson quickly works from the windup. The pitch to Como, breaking ball sent high into the sky in left center field. Coming over and in is the left fielder in Gallen, makes the catch, and Como is sat down quickly to start the bottom of the 4th.
Looked like Como was going to be able to shoot that ball in the gap. As the wind kind of took it, still brought it up, as it was kind of a lazy fly ball out.
Davis Wenzel steps in, who flew out to left in his first at-bat, and now set to make plate appearance number 2. Matheson gets his sign from Meadows, kicks and fires the first pitch, a breaking ball in for strike 1. Now, the Mariners are no stranger to letting up no hits through this point or throughout a ball game for that matter, as Wenzel sends a high fly ball into deep right center field. Tracking back on is the right fielder Rivera, can't get there, and it'll find a gap. Wenzel rounding around second, making his way for third. The relay in is not in time, and Wenzel stands up at third with a 1-out triple in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Harbor Hawks have something brewing, their first hit of the ball game.
Great piece there by Wenzel, being able to shoot it out in the gap, just like Como did, but the wind brought it down off the wall, standing it there with a triple.
So Wenzel in at third, right as I was saying, no hits for the Harbor Hawks. Wenzel changes that in a hurry, drilling that into the right center field gap. A diving effort from Rivera on the backhand, but couldn't quite get there as Seth Gray takes a first pitch fastball outside. Now yesterday, the Mariners no-hit the Bourne Braves in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Zach Hess out of LSU, Kyle Bronovich out of Elon, as well as Joe Lasorso, no-hit the Bourne Braves, as Gray takes another fastball for a strike. Now, two of those guys, in Branovich and Hess, not with the ball club tonight and won't be for what could possibly be the remainder of the summer, as they're set to head off to Team USA. Both Hess and Branovich having dominant years in their collegiate seasons, as Seth Gray sends the ball foul behind home plate.
Clearly wanted to finish off their career in the Cape on a good note.
But Matheson looking to prevent the runner Wenzel and scoring from third. The infield playing in, all four infielders right on the infield grass as Gray sends a weak ground ball to the first baseman Lipsius, who takes it and steps on the bag while looking Wenzel back to third. Will not advance any further, and there's two outs for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the fourth. So the first baseman Lipsius with an unassisted putout as Hawver steps into the left-handed side of the box. A 0-0 ball game for Hyannis and Harwich. Harwich with 4 hits, Hyannis with just 1. Matheson's first pitch to Hawver misses high and outside for ball 1. Hawver walked in the second inning, was the only Harbor Hawk to reach base before the Davis-Wenzel triple. Hawver looking to pick up his first hit of the night and the second Harbor Hawk base hit, which would produce the first run for either team as he takes a ball high again. So Matheson now working from the stretch despite having Wenzel at third. He comes set right at the belt, looks down the runner in Wenzel. Hawver swings and sends it foul behind home plate. Hawver 5 hits on the summer, .238 batting average. Hitting in the number 5 hole for the Harbor Hawks tonight. Matheson comes set. The 2-1 to Hawver taken for a strike right on the outside corner as Matheson countered with some off speed. The count now at 2-2. Matheson's thrown 57 pitches up to this point. The pitch to Hawver, a swing and a foul, up and out of play on a breaking ball. Hawver has 3 RBIs on the summer for the Harbor Hawks. That marks 3rd on the team. The pitch from Matheson, the swing and a line drive back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Cruising home from third is Davis-Wenzel, and the Harbor Hawks strike first in the bottom of the 4th as Trevor Hawver picks up his 6th hit of the summer, 4th RBI, 1-0 Hyannis the score.
Great piece there by Trevor Hawver, being able to shoot it out in the middle of the shortstop and the second baseman for a 2-out RBI single.
Hawver now stands at first, roped that one right back up the middle against Matheson, who had just absolutely flown through his first 3 innings. But a Wenzel triple and a Hawver single has changed the course of that fate. Todd Lott takes a strike from Matheson on the first pitch. Matheson making his first appearance on the mound of the summer. At Stanford this season, he appeared in 13 games, all out of the bullpen. As Lott takes an 0-1 breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. Matheson made 6 starts in his freshman year, also was a starting pitcher in the Northwoods League back in the summer of 2017. Or make that the Coastal Plain League for the Morehead City Marlins. As Todd Lott takes an 0-2 pitch outside. In the Coastal Plain League, Matheson didn't pitch a whole ton, just 9 innings, but a 3 ERA and a 1-1 record. Trevor Hawver gets his lead at first. Matheson sets, comes home to Todd Lott, swinging a line drive into left center field for a base hit. Hawver moving down to second, stopping there, and Todd Lott continues to stay scorching hot, picks up his first hit of the night, And the Harbor Hawks have 2 men aboard with 2 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Great piece there by Lott, staying back of the ball, being able to hit it out to left field.
The first
Carolina.
baseman is Oklahoma number 30, Brady.
Brady Lindsley steps in, the left-handed hitter out of Oklahoma, who has no hits and just 1 at bat today, popped out to third back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As time is called, the Harwich Mariners pitching coach out to the mound to have a couple of quick words with his starter in Matheson. But quickly on Todd Lott, he's gotten things going in a hurry for the Harbor Hawks. He was on the struggle bus, to say the least, through the first 11 games or so, but now his average all the way up to 286. His 3 home runs mark 2nd on the Cape coming into today, or should we say 3rd, as Spencer Torkelson and Andrew Vaughn are tied for 1st, although both of those players also heading out to Team USA. So that home run leader could be anybody's within the coming weeks, as their home run totals will stay at 5 for at least a couple of weeks. As Brady Lindsley takes a ball, the meeting concurred. Matheson set and fired away, missing outside to Lindsley. Matheson steps off to reset. Looked like he might have had something in his eye. Taking the top of his jersey and rubbing his right eye, but seems to be okay. Now back on the mound from the set. Comes home to Lindsley, swinging a foul behind home plate and off the netting. Lindsley in 2018, he hit .262, as we mentioned earlier. 13 extra base hits and walked 23 times. He's got Hoover at second, Lott at first with 2 outs. Swinging a high fly ball right on the infield, moving a little bit in is the second baseman Thompson. Makes the catch on the right side for out number 3, but the Harbor Hawks strike first in the bottom of the 4th on a Trevor Hoover RBI single to give Hyannis a 1-0 lead. We'll be back in the 5th inning right after this on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Lyle Goldstein.
After 4 scoreless frames from Jeremy Randolph, he makes his way back out for the top of the 5th, set to face the bottom 3rd of the Mariners' order, starting things off with Georgia catcher Gabe Meadows as he takes a fastball down low and in the dirt. Meadows, just 1 plate appearance coming into this at-bat, struck out swinging in the 2nd. That was Jeremy Randolph's 3rd strikeout of the night. He currently is still sitting at 4. He comes home with the 1-0, fastball right at the knees for strike 1. Lights starting to come on here at McKeon Park. And Jeremy Randolph gets his sign from Wilkie. The 1-1 pitch misses down and outside. Some action in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Looks like it's Ryan Pepio starting to get loose, as Randolph's now in his 5th inning of work. The 2-1 from the right-hander, swinging a high fly ball into deep left field. Backtracking is Todd Lott to the wall, and it's off the top of the fence. Rounding first and cruising into second is the catcher in Meadows for a leadoff double in the top of the 5th. And now the Harwich Mariners striking right back after the Harbor Hawks played a run in the bottom of the 4th.
Randolph leaving that pitch up for Meadows. He's able to smash it out to left field. Almost got over the wall. Todd Lott quickly being able to throw it back in the field of play.
Lott was giving chase to it like he thought it was gone. Started to slow up on it, but the ball hits right off the fence in left center field off the Century 21 sign at McKeon Park, as Kyle Wilkie makes his way out to the mound to have a quick word with Randolph. But we haven't seen a Harbor Hawks starter go longer than 5 innings. Jordan Fowler, the left-hander out of Ole Miss, came out for the 6th inning yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader for Hyannis, but couldn't record an out in the bottom of the 6th and was soon pulled by head coach Chad Gassman. But here in the top of the 5th, Randolph has nobody out and a man on second, as the number 8 hitter in Matt Gorski sends a line drive foul and out of play down the first base line. Gorski has one of the 5 Mariner hits so far. He singled in the 3rd, but was stranded there. He was actually thrown out at second by Kyle Wilkie. That was his second thrown runner out of the ball game, as Gorski squares around to bunt but pulls back on an outside pitch from Randolph. Count now 1-1. So Kyle Wilkie's gunned out 2 runners so far this evening. Catcher out of Clemson, having a solid day defensively behind the plate. Randolph checks the runner at second. The next pitch to Gorski off the knob of the bat and foul down the right field line. Gorski 4 for 17 on the young summer. Seeing Randolph for the 2nd time around. Unlike his single back in the 3rd inning, he's now in an RBI opportunity. Braden Como playing off to his right and up the middle, giving a little bit of attention to the runner in Meadows. As Gorski sends a ground ball to Davis Wenzel, going off to his left, fields it glove side, and makes the throw to first in time to sit down the hitter in Gorski. Staying at second base is Mason Meadows.
Great teamwork by Trella and Wenzel there, being able to kind of switch over as the ball kind of came through.
Good communication. Wenzel backing off, not trying to make the play on a backhand. That's always the third baseman's ball, especially with Wenzel having the momentum toward first. Calls off his shortstop in Trella, fields it on a forehand, and made a strong throw down to Brady Lindsley across the diamond.
Trella also a very good job of going over to third base as well. I thought that was very good.
If he hadn't done so, likely the runner in Meadows would have taken off for third with no coverage. And I think some credit is due to Harbor Hawks infield coach Ron Polk as well, because we see him going over so many different defensive scenarios with the ball players before every game. Usually us broadcasters will get here around 3 to 3:15, and all of them are usually sitting right at the mound with Coach Ron Polk, who's going over numerous infield defenses and just defensive schemes in general. As time is now called, head coach Chad Gassman walking his way out to the mound. Rest of the infield coming in as well. And we'll see if that's it for Jeremy Randolph. He's got 1 out with a man on second in the 5th inning. Gassman just talking things over with his ball club. If Randolph stays in, he's set to face Iowa left-handed hitter Ben Norman. Meeting concludes, and Randolph will stay in the ball game. He's got a chance to total his longest outing of the summer so far. It's just his 3rd appearance, but he went 4 1/3 against the Brewster Whitecaps back in the doubleheader a week ago from yesterday. And he's through 4 1/3 innings so far today. Infield back to their respective positions. Playing straight up with one out. Wenzel off to his left off the line. Also behind the bag at third. Randolph's first pitch to Norman is a swing and a foul out of play down the left side. Randolph hasn't recorded a strikeout since the second out of the third inning when he punched out the current hitter in Ben Norman. He got him swinging before Cam Thompson popped out to short to end the third. Norman swings at another pitch and fouls it away down the left side. 0-2 the count with one out. Ron Polk going over a couple of things with his outfield, brings right fielder Trevor Hauver in a little bit. Ben Norman hit .274 with 3 home runs, 58 total hits in his sophomore year at Iowa. As the set from Randolph, the pitch in, misses inside for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 1 out, Hyannis leads 1-0. The lone run coming off an RBI single from the ASU product in Hauver. Como's now made his way back off to his left and playing the pull against the lefty in Norman. Checks his swing on a 1-2 pitch in the dirt, appealed to third, but did not go around, according to third base umpire Dave Perry. Count now moves to even, 2-2. Center fielder Tommy Jew playing fairly shallow in center. Randolph looking for his 5th strikeout of the night. The set. Keeping an eye on the runner. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Chasing after a high fastball is Ben Norman, who punches out for the 2nd time in as many at-bats. And Jeremy Randolph now has 5 strikeouts on the evening and 2 out here in the 5th inning.
Nice pitch by Randolph, getting that high fastball up in the zone. Mariners, a batter, unable to get a piece on it.
Looking to put up a 5th scoreless frame, but has to go through leadoff hitter in Cam Thompson, who's 0 for 1 with a walk today, popped out to short in his last at bat. The first pitch from Randolph, outside for ball 1. Thompson currently hitting .351. Getting a short lead at second is the runner in Mason Meadows, who doubled the lead off the inning. Randolph gives him a couple of looks, but steps off the mound quickly. Now out of the box is the hitter in Thompson. Cam hit just .257 at Kansas State this season, although he had 4 triples to his name. So if you need any more reason to understand why he's in the leadoff spot, there you go. Takes an off-speed pitch high and out of the zone. So while the hitter in Thompson didn't have as good of a year as he did in his freshman season with the Wildcats when he hit .318, he is scorching hot on the young summer on Cape Cod. 13 for 37. The pitch from Randolph. Called strike, and the count evens. Make that only strike 1. The count 2-1 according to home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. That pitch right at the top of the zone from Randolph. Looking to get the final out of the top of the 5th and keep this a 1-0 game for his Harbor Hawks as Thompson sends one foul down the left field line and out of play. Count moves to 2-2. 2 outs, a man aboard at second as Kyle Wilkie trots out to the mound to have a couple of words with his pitcher. But Randolph, so far today, out of the 5 hits, just 1 for extra bases, that coming on the double from Meadows. Allowed a hit in the second, an additional 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and now the double in the 5th. The 2-2 count. The pitch on the way, misses down low for ball 3. The count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Thompson looking to pick up his first hit of the night, as it would likely tie the ball game at 1 apiece. Jeremy Randolph from the set. The 3-2 pitch down in the dirt for ball 4, and Thompson draws his second walk of the night. Trots his way down to first, and Chad Gaspin making his way out to the mound. Now that will likely be the night for Wright State right-hander Jeremy Randolph, but throws 4 2/3 effective innings for the Harbor Hawks. He'll leave the game with 2 on and 2 men out in the top of the 5th. Ryan Pepio coming into the game in relief, and we'll be back right after this in a 1-0 contest here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
Back to Chad Gaspin making all the right moves on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Ryan Pepio into the game for the Harbor Hawks with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning as he's set to face Boston College left fielder Chris Gallen with 2 on. His first pitch is high, up and out of the zone for ball 1. Pepio on the summer 7 2/3 innings pitched with a 7.04 ERA, has appeared in 4 games, started 1, walked 6, and struck out 13. He checks the runner at second. From the set, the 1-0 pitch inside and hits the hitter in Gallen right on the helmet, but gets up quickly. And he'll jog down to first. Another fastball getting away from Pepio as he missed way high with the first one. Loads the bases with 2 outs in the top of the 5th for Tanner Morris, the most dangerous hitter in the Mariners lineup.
Pepio putting himself quite the jam himself with hitting that batter now the bases loaded.
He's got a tough task at hand against Morris. Now, I mentioned the 7.04 ERA from Pepio, but don't let that fool you. While he had a couple of rocky outings in his first 2 appearances of the summer, he's thrown 3 scoreless innings against Wareham and Falmouth in what have been his last 2 appearances. Misses high with a first pitch fastball to Morris for ball 1. In that game against Wareham, the Harbor Hawks dropped that one 9-0, but Pepio faced the minimum and struck out the side. And then against Falmouth, 2 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit, also striking out a trio. Breaking ball gets away from the catcher in Wilkie. The throw to Pepio at the plate covering, and it's in time to retire the runner in Mason Meadows coming home from third. Pepio staying aware, coming home to cover the plate. Wilkie smothered it, going off to his left and making a beautiful toss to the pitcher in Pepio to save their lead at 1-0 through 5 innings of play. We'll be back right after this for the bottom of the fifth. Harbor Hawks looking to extend things at McKeon Park when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Rob Marcello.
Welcome back in the bottom of the fifth. I'll be taking over play-by-play while Lyle is in the color commentating role for the rest of the game. Michael Beeline on the mound for the Mariners of Harwich. Kyle Wilkie now up for the Harbor Hawks to lead off in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0. Hyannis still, if you missed the end of last inning, a great play at home plate turned in by Kyle Wilkie. Let the ball go right past him, but throws it home as Pepio applied the tag. 1-1 count in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch is swing and a miss by Wilkie. It's now 1-2.
Well, Matheson's final line, he lasted 4 innings, gave up just the 1 run on the Trevor Hauver RBI single, 3 hits in total, walked 1, and struck out 3.
1-2 count. 1-2 pitch. Ball just outside. Outside high. Two count to Wilkie. Nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. Pitches in, swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Wilkie, and that'll be the first out in the bottom of the fifth.
And second punch out on the day for Kyle Wilkie. First one swinging. Reliever and Beeline wasting no time. Wilkie chasing one in the dirt for out number 1.
Alec Trella now up for the Harbor Hawks. 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. Pitches a ball just outside, low in the dirt. Bill, the shortstop for the Harbor Hawks today. And the 9th man in the order. 1-0 pitch. That is a ground ball to the second baseman. He has it. He'll throw it on the first for the second out. Thompson on the defensive play, a ground ball at second.
The center field from Santa Barbara, number 13, Tommy
Jew. Now up for the Harbor Hawks. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 Hyannis. Pitch is in for a strike. Down quickly, 0-1 in the count. Pitch is just inside. 1-1. One count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Hyannis. Pitch in, that is a foul ball. Lands just to the first base side. Harborhawks today in their home whites, while Harwich is in their road grays. All the Harwich guys wearing stirrups. Something a lot of teams do in the Cape, but Hyannis does not. That is a foul ball. One-two pitch, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Hyannis has 3 hits. Harwich is 5. One-two pitch. Ground ball, foul. Bends right near Braden Como in the on-deck circle. Lights still peering out from the clouded sky here in Hyannis. As it's 7:34, this game's moved along quite quickly. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. The Harborhawks do nothing in the bottom of the 5th. After 5, Hyannis is still up 1-0. Harwich will be up in the top of the 6th. We'll be right back here on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Let's get you back to the game.
Welcome back in the top of the 6th. Pepio back out on the mound for Hyannis.
Leading off for Harwich, the shortstop for the University of Virginia, number 10, Tanner Morris.
Tanner Morris up for Harwich. First pitch is in for a strike. Just inside, catching the edge of the plate. One-0 pitch. That is a ground ball to Braden Como at second. He'll throw it on to first for the first out. You're in the top of the 6th.
And that's twice in as many at-bats that Tanner Morris has found the glove of Braden Como on the ground. And that's been a big out today for both Randolph and Pepio, as Tanner Morris came into the day hitting .313 on the summer. No home runs, but it was 12 for 29 before now putting up an 0 for 3 day thus far.
Andre Lipsius out for Harwich, and his first pitch is sent foul just behind us here at McKeon Park. here in Hyannis. One 0 pitch. Strike on the call is the check swing. He's not even allowed to be called over at the first base. Home plate umpire takes care of it himself. Down 0-2 is Lipsius. 0-2 pitch. Ball just high. Right around the logo of the Harwich Mariners. On the left side of their jersey, just up. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball just foul. Gets the tip of the bat. Bounces to home plate. The ball boy gets it behind home plate. 1-2 count. Pitch from Pepio is in for a strike. Strike 3. For the second out in the top of the 6th.
Now the first strikeout of the night for Ryan Pepio, making it 14 on the season. We've seen he's got some swing and miss stuff between that fastball as well as that sweeping breaking ball.
Chunk now up for Harwich. 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th. This game continues to move very quickly. Pitches just inside, right around the belt buckle of Chunk. 1-0. Pitch. That is a ground ball right back at Pepio. A good stop. Throws it on the first. For the third out, a screeching ball right to Pepio. He gets it with his glove. He'll throw it on the first. Harwich goes 1-2-3. The Harbor Hawks will be up in the bottom of the 6th. Up 1-0. We'll be right back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Let's get you back to the game.
Welcome back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. You're in the bottom of the 6th. Hyannis is still up 1-0. Braden Como up to bat. Ball's low. Ball 1. Beeline still on the mound for Harwich in the 6th. 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball just fouled down the third base line. Harwich has 5 hits to Hyannis' 3. But Hyannis has the edge 1-0 here at McKeon Park. One pitch. That is a ground ball to the second baseman. He has it. He'll throw it on the first for the first out in the bottom of the 6th.
The third base for Baylor.
Como just a weak ground ball out to second. A pretty easy play for the second baseman, and Thompson moved about a step over to his left. But Como, an 0 for 3 day, sent 2 balls out to left field, and Gallen comes up empty on another at bat. Harbor Hawks still with just 3 hits today, and we've got an out in the 6th.
Wenzel now up for Harbor Hawks just outside. Just catches the end of the plate. Wenzel quickly down 1-0 in the count. 0-1 pitch. Just low for a ball. Low outside. One pitch to Wenzel. Inside was the pitch, right around Wenzel's belt buckle. 2-1 pitch. A foul ball beyond the Harwich dugout in the woods. Back to a 2-2 count. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 pitch. That is a ground ball to the third baseman. He has it on his glove. He'll throw it on the first. Makes the long throw for the second out of the inning as Wenzel's speed not enough. Quickly got down there.
Designated hitter from Wright State, number 18, Seth.
Well, Beanline continuing the deals, retired 5 straight hitters, 2 on strikeouts, and now 3 on ground balls. 2 of them coming on the left side and to the second baseman in Thompson.
Seth Gray now up for the Harbor Hawks. He bats .320 on the season so far. Ball outside middle. Up 1-0. Something the Harbor Hawks really have not said a lot today. Another ball in that same exact spot. Call the ball once again. 2-0 count. Gray does have 4 RBIs on the season, but he is 0 for 2 on the day. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3 just high.
And Beanline so far today, 2 strikeouts, which already doubles his total on the season. He had 2 coming into today. He's a guy that really pitches to contact and induces a lot of ground ball outs.
3-0 pitch. Ball 4 outside and a 2-out walk.
Yeah, Seth Gray not having to do much in that at bat. Just watch 4 pitches go by. None of them that close to the plate, which is odd to see from Beanline after having such good control through the first 5 hitters he faced. Of course, Gray been one of the hotter hitters in the Harbor Hawks lineup despite an 0 for 2 day coming into that at bat. But he's on it first with 2 outs.
Trevor Hauver now for the Harbor Hawks. First pitch is in for a strike. Down 1-0 in the count quickly is Hauver. Runner on first with 2 outs. Hyannis is up 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. 0-1 pitch. Ball in the dirt. He'll throw down to second, and he'll be gone at second base. A hesitation by Gray, trying to keep Harwich napping, but they do not fall for it. Harbor Hawks unable to score any runs in the 6th inning. They're still up 1-0. Harwich will be up in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
MusicElf.com. 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 MusicElf.com.
You're listening to Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We'll bring you back to the booth, but first, it's down to the sidelines with Dani Terzer.
newest player to debut for the Harbor Hawks is Tommy Jew from Santa Barbara. Gassman is excited to have him in the lineup as a true center fielder. But another thing he brings to this Harbor Hawk team is speed. He considers it one of his strengths and a part of his game he focuses on to compensate for maybe not being the biggest or the strongest. He told me when he redshirted his freshman year, he dedicated a lot of time to speed work. When he wasn't traveling with the team, it ended up being the perfect time to do so. He also played 3 other sports growing up, so he's always been running around and has always had an advantage in his back pocket. We saw him steal second base in Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader against Orleans, and I'm sure we'll continue to see him show off that speed.
Thank you, Dani, our sideline reporter for the Harbor Hawks. Gage Rivera now up to bat for Harwich. They're down 1-0 in the the top of the 7th. I was going to say the bottom, but Hyannis is not up. Up 2-0 quickly is Rivera. Pepio still on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Two-0 pitch is in for a strike. 2-1 count. Two-one pitch. Swing and it misses Rivera. Now it's 2-2. Two pitch into Rivera. That is a high fly ball to center field. Tommy Jew has it for the first out in the top of the 7th.
The catcher for the University of Georgia, number 31, Mason Meadows.
Mason Meadows now up to bat for Harwich. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Harwich has 5 hits, but no runs to show for it. Hyannis has 3, and they're up 1-0. Pitches in to Meadows. In for a strike, Pepio. So far, very effective out of the bullpen, minus the hit-by pitch that had the bases loaded. Even if the run did score, would not have been charged to him, but on a pass ball, almost scored the run for Harwich. But a great throw by Kyle Wilkie to Pepio. At home plate was able to get him out. It's a 1-1 count now on the Meadows. 1-1 pitch. In for a strike. It's now 1-2. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Hyannis, as I've said, is up 1-0. A fantastic pitching effort for the past 5 or 6 games for the Harbor Hawks. Big reason why they're 7-4-1 on the season. Harwich, though, is 7-5-1 on the year, continuing to trend up. Both teams very good. 2-2 pitch. Ball and low, runs the count 3-2. Up next is Matt Gorski for Harwich. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3. Got him looking. A great pitch by Pepio on the corner for the second out in the top of the 7th.
The center field for the University of Indiana, number 34, Matt Gorski.
Matt Gorski up to bat as he was on deck the last at bat. Watch his teammate Meadow strike out, not swinging. Looking, something Harwich is very used to so far today. And Gorski swings and misses at that fastball right down the heart of the plate. Down 1-0 in the count. Quickly with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. 1-0 pitch. Ball outside. Wilkie had to reach his arm out to get it, but he caught it. 1-1 pitch. That was high up inside. Tugorski had to move out of the way. Two one pitch. In for a strike. Gorski did not like that. Neither did the Harwich bench. They're starting to get a little restless here. Two pitch, 2 outs. Foul ball. Hits the ball right in between the knob and the barrel of the bat. Bat did not break, though. It's 2-2. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Hyannis is up 1-0. Pepio readjusting his hat on his head. Takes a deep breath, comes to the set. 2-2 pitch. A ground ball to Braden Como. He has it. He'll throw on first. A great job by Ryan Pepio. 1-2-3 go hose Harwich. Hyannis will be up in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back here on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network.
musiclove.com. musiclove.com.
Magic Works Media copyright.
Hope you had a nice stretch. Now let's get to the bottom of the 7th inning on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network.
Welcome back here at McKeon Park. It's 1-0 Hyannis.
Leading off the 7th inning, the
Oliver now up
from Arizona
for the
State.
Harborhawks.
Number 17, Trevor Oliver.
Oliver, the last time he was up, he delivered the only runs of the game on an RBI. Single up the middle. First pitch of the bat, in for a strike with a fastball. Beeline back out on the mound for Harwich. A ball in the dirt. It's now 1-1. Beeline so far this year in 4 1/3 innings. He is a 4.16 RBI ERA. Throws on to first for the first out. That was a grounder to the third baseman, Shunk. As I will correct myself on Beeline's ERA is 4.16. His 2 strikeouts. Over on the day was 1 for 2, now 1 for 3. Lott is now up for the Harborhawks. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch is inside. First strike just catches the edge of the plate. Oh, 1 pitch. Foul balls. Lott got a good piece of that. Oh, 2 pitch to Lott. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 at a ball in the dirt. quick to tag was Meadows. And 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 7th.
University of Oklahoma. Number 30, Brady Lindsley.
Brady Lindsley now up for the Harbor Hawks. Batting on the left side of the plate. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 7th. Hyannis only able to get 1 run so far. That's all they really needed is they're up 1-0. Beeline's first pitch of the bat catches the outside edge of the plate. Around the middle of the zone in for a strike. 0-1. Ground ball that bounces off Lindsley's leg, so it's now 0-2. Lindsley's down. Neither team really getting any offense going so far today. No errors either on both sides. Very well defensive play game. 0-2 pitch. That is a ground ball to the second baseman. He has it in his glove. He'll throw it on to first in a quick 7th inning. It is still 1-0 here in Hyannis. Harwich will be up in the top of the 8th. We will be right back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Rob Marcello.
Welcome back here in the top of the 8th. Adam Elliott on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Now up Ben Norman. DH for Harwich. Leading off in the top of the 8th, looking for some type of runs here. They're down 1-0, a ball in the dirt. Gets past Wilkie, but doesn't go very far. Lyle joins me back here in the booth here in the 8th inning. Hope you enjoyed your time off, Lyle.
It was all right. Hope you enjoyed your solo inning.
Sure did. It went by pretty quick.
Seems to happen a lot in these solo innings, I must say.
That is a ground ball that just goes foul. It's now 1-1.
Well, Pepio's night is done. He went 2 1/3 innings, gave up no hits, no earned runs, struck out 2. So another effective inning, or outing, we should say, from the Butler right-hander. After those first 2 appearances on the year, he's come back to now throw 5 1/3 straight scoreless innings, really starting to turn things around here in Hyannis this summer.
Elliott was ready to pitch, but Norman stepped out of the batter's box to get some dirt off his gloves and his helmet. Another foul tip. Goes beyond the catcher and home plate umpire, but the ball boy for Harwich then gets the ball. Norman down 1-2 in the count in the top of the 8th. This game's starting to get late. Sun's starting to go down. Sweeping through the clouds. In for a pitch, strike 3. Got him looking once again. 1 out in the top of the 8th.
The second baseman,
And Adam Elliott spotting up that fastball right on the black of home plate. Got the number 9 hitter in Norman looking. We talked about it with Elliott when in his appearances this summer. He's not a guy that's going to blow stuff by you. He's kind of a junk baller, pitches off his breaking stuff a good amount. But right there, you spot up a fastball that well, nobody's going to be hitting that.
Cam Thompson's first pitch is to Trella at shortstop. Throws it on to first for the second out. And this game is whizzing by.
The left fielder from Boston College, number 4.
Yeah, we've got 2 outs in the top of the 7th. It's only 8:03. This game right at about the 2-hour mark, cruising by. But that's what'll happen when it's a 1-0 ball game and only 8 combined hits from the 2 teams.
First pitch is just catches the edge of the plate. Down 1-0. 1-0 pitch is in for a ball. Now gets the count to 1-1. Gilliard up the bat for Harwich. Second Mariner in the order. 1-1 pitch. That is a ground ball again to Trella. He has it. He'll throw it on to first. Great catch there by Lindsley. Gets the 3rd out. The Harborhawks continue to pitch well. They will be up in the bottom of the 8th trying to widen their 1-0 lead. We'll be right back here on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Let's get you back to the game.
Welcome back in the bottom of the 8th. Hyannis is still up 1-0. Austin Wood, the new pitcher for Harwich. Wilkie now up to lead it off. Wood's first pitch is in. That'll be a ground ball. Will get through the second baseman. And a leadoff single for Kyle Wilkie as the Harborhawks are trying to widen their lead.
Number 26, Alex Trella.
Well, Wood's only thrown an inning so far coming into today, and it was a forgettable one to say the least. Gave up 5 runs, 4 of them being earned on just 2 hits. Struck out 2, but not off to the greatest of starts in the bottom of the 8th as Kyle Wilkie punches one through the right side for a single, kind of an inside-out swing from the Clemson catcher. But we know Wilkie and his ability to just kind of slug the baseball. Doesn't do it for a whole ton of power, at least hasn't so far yet this summer. He knows how to get on base.
Trella now up. He sends a ball down the third base side as he tried to put a bunt down. It goes foul.
Well, Chad Gassman trying to advance the runner with a guy on first, nobody out, wants to get Wilkie into scoring position. And if he can do so, it'll bring the top of the order up with an RBI chance. Both Jew and Braden Como set to go after the at-bat of Trella. We'll see if he drops the bunt again. The third baseman and Shunk now just in front of the bag.
Oh, he's going to put his bunt down. He gets it down to the pitcher. Tosses it to first. I believe it hit Trella, but bounced to the first baseman. A scary play there for Wood. Glad he gets out of that. The runner does advance. Second base, a very strange play, I must say.
Yeah, a strange play all around. It wasn't the prettiest of bunts in the world from Alec Trella. Kind of hung up in the air for a minute and then squiggled down the first base line. It did the job with Wilkie advancing to second, but then the pitcher and Wood coming off the mound to field it, underhanded it to first, and I don't even know if it hit Trella. I think it just might have spiked into the dirt, and luckily the first baseman in Lipsius picked it. And all around, like you said, Rob, strange play.
Ball just outside. To Tommy Jew, the leadoff hitter for the Harbor Hawks. The 9th man in the order does his job. Usually you see pitchers taking down bunts in the 9th spot. And I'll pitch in for a strike. Of course, that doesn't happen in this league as the pitchers necessarily don't have to bat. They can if they want, but you don't really usually see it. 1-1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Wilkie at second base. The catcher. Ball just outside. Meadows had to go get that. 2-1. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Hyannis. I feel like I've been saying that for a long time, as no runs have really been scored. That is a ground ball to the shortstop. He has to come in and get it. On his backhand, throws it and throws it away. It is now 2-0 Hyannis. And a runner comes in. And it is now 2-0 Hyannis.
Well, Tommy Jew just hit a weak ground ball to force the shortstop and Morris to charge in for it, but we've seen in the short time he's played so far this season what he can do with his wheels and his speed, flying down the first base line, and it caused a flustered throw from the shortstop, and Morris sailing it wide to the right of the first baseman, and Lipsius got all the way down into the right field bullpen, and then Tommy Jew with his speed getting all the way to third, flying around second and standing up at third base.
Ball just inside of Braden Como, trying to edge around for a bunt. The infield is playing in for Harwich, now down 2-0. Both teams have 5 hits. Jew able to get on base with his speed. I think that really rushed the throw from the shortstop. One of the reasons why it was probably an error. Would have been safe prior regardless, but did not eat it up. Up 2-0 is Como. Harbor Hawks add a run in the 8th. And hit by Braden Como. He's not very happy about it. Throws his bat, but he'll run down to first. There'll be runners on the corners. Davis Wenzel now up for the Harbor Hawks. The hero last week's game against Falmouth, but went in the gap. 10 things here in Hyannis. The pitching coach for Harwich meeting with Wood has not had the greatest inning.
Yeah, like we said, didn't have a good first inning in his first outing of the summer, and maybe not quite to that extent. Hasn't given up 5 runs, at least not yet, but with runners on first and third and just 1 out, not off to the greatest of starts, and now he's set to face the heart of the order in Wenzel, Seth Gray, and Trevor Hauber. And Wenzel, like you mentioned, had the walk-off win just a few nights ago, also with a triple back in the 4th inning, and he later scored.
Wenzel up for the Harbor Hawks. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch is in low, right around his shoe tops. Ball was almost in the dirt, but Meadows able to pick it up essentially. Up 1-0 in the count. Harwich is playing it double play depth. Ball just outside, now up 2-0.
And Wenzel's going up in this at bat with his approach. At least it should be just a sacrifice fly. Of course, a hit would be nice, but just something deep and into the outfield to extend the lead.
First pitch is an infield fly into the night sky here in Hyannis. First baseman comes on for the second out. Lipsius on that play, and now up is Seth Gray.
Designated hitter from Wright State, number 18, Seth Gray.
Hasn't had that great of a day today, but hopefully he's going to try to change that.
Yeah, so far today, Seth Gray yet to record a hit. Grounded out once, popped out once, and also walked, but was caught stealing. Having said that, if you had to pick a guy in this lineup to clutch up with a 2-out hit, it would probably be the Wright State left-handed hitter.
First pitch right down the heart of the plate. In for a strike. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Runners on the corners. Hyannis able to add a run in the 8th. They're now up 2-0. No pitch. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt was Gray. Now down 0-2 in the count. Down 0-2 is Gray. Wood with a big at bat here. Already let up a run. Ball just outside. Meadows had to get out of his crouch to get it. 1-2. Gray did not offer. One-two pitch from Wood. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Catching him on the slider that just curved back into the zone. Gray shakes his head. The Harbor Hawks are able to score another run in this inning. Now we're up 2-0. We're going to send it here to the top of the 9th. Here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Now back to today's voice of the Hawks, Rob Marcello.
Welcome back. It is 2-0 Hyannis. We're here in the top of the 9th. Elliott back out on the mound for Hyannis. Pitched very well in his first inning. Kept the score at 1-0. They've given him a little more run support. It's now 2-0. Morris up for Harwich. Ball just outside. Runs the count now at 2-0. Pitch from Elliott. Pitches in for a strike. Now has the count at 2-1 to Morris. Morris on the day 0 for 3. He bats .413 in the year with 5 RBIs. Pretty dangerous. Another pitch is hit just foul. Wenzel runs out to get it. Goes full speed ahead, unable to make the catch, but great effort by him and Lott.
Yeah, definitely gave it all on that one. Chasing back and off to his left a little bit. Would have had to have been a backhanded stab if he'd made the play. Went all the way into the Harbor Hawks bullpen, but was just a little bit out of his reach, despite the speed he showed going down the left field line.
2-2 pitch from Elliott here in the top of the 9th. Pitch. That is a hit that will get down in left field and a leadoff single. Lott does dribble the ball in his glove, but the runner did not advance. And a leadoff single as Harwich in business.
It's Harwich's first hit since the 5th inning on the double from Mason Meadows when he was later thrown out at the plate. But Tanner Morris, like we've talked about, probably the hottest hitter in this lineup and one of the best hitters on the Cape this summer, clutching up when his team needs him most, sending one the other way on a line into left field for a leadoff single.
Andre Lipsius now up for Harwich. That ball is sent foul. 0-1 count.
And Elliott going to have to be careful here. He's pitching with a 2-0 lead. Having said that, this is the heart of the order he's facing in the 9th.
0-1 pitch. Ball just low. Now 1-1 count. A man on with nobody out in the top of the 9th. Score is 2-0 Hyannis. 1-1 pitch. That is a fly ball out to right field. It does go foul. And unable to get it was Trevor Harver. A great effort. Hat falling off.
He just came up short, too. Tracked it all the way down, coming way over from what was almost right center field. Had some blazing speed. He really turned the Jets on toward the end. But, again, ball just sailed out a little bit in front of him and off to his left. A little bit of a pause here. They're waiting for Harver to get back to his position in right field. As we said, had to make a long run.
1-2 pitch. Ball in the dirt. Great stop by Wilkie. Did not let him advance. I think they're also giving him a little time because he was a little tired.
Yeah, that could be it too, for sure. I mean, he's had to make a couple of runs on some long plays today. He's stationed fairly deep out in right field, no matter if it's a left-handed or right-handed hitter. We saw him come in for that put out earlier in the game, then chasing that one down.
2-2 pitch just outside. Runs the count full at 3-2. Elliott was sitting pretty good with Lipsius, but now has ran the count at full. Three-two pitch. That is a liner out to right field. That will get down, and 2 runners will quickly get on in the top of the 9th. Still nobody out.
And Elliott now working himself into some early trouble in the 9th. Has led up back-to-back singles to the Mariners' number 3 and 4 hitters. Kyle Wilkie out to have a couple of words with them. There's a little bit of action going on in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. A minute ago, Wes Engel was getting loose from the left side, although Chad Gassman, watching on from the dugout, seems content to stay with his left-hander from Louisville. Confidence that he'll get out of it.
Shunk now up for Harwich. 2 runners on base. Nobody out in the top of the 9th. Hyannis is up 2-0. Big at bat for Elliott. Elliott steps off the rubber and looks back. The runner at second. Coach Polk now calling some defensive situations here in case if they thinking about putting a bunt down. the father of the SEC, as they call him, as he coached for many years at Mississippi State. Defensive guru for sure. First pitch is in. That is a laser out to right field. Harver runs to get it, and he gets it for the first out. No runs advance. None of the runners advance. A great play there by Harver using his speed. That stays in the field of play for the first out.
Well, Shunk was actually the batter that popped up to Harver in short right field back in the second inning when he had to run way in to make the play. That time running off way to his left, coming toward the right field line. Wasn't sure if he was going to get there or not. That ball looked like it was dying pretty quickly, but Harver really turned on the burners late and tracked it down for a key first out for Adam Elliott.
Rivera now up for Harwich. Big out for Elliott. First pitch in the at-bat is hit just foul. Right into the Harwich dugout. Down 1-0 in the count is Rivera. Trying to tie this game up with a hit in the gap. That is a laser out to center field, but the wind takes it back. Tommy Jew on for the second out. And it appears that Elliott might get out of this.
Yeah, he's really settled down after those first two singles, has induced some soft fly ball contact, at least right there. Harver had to make a little bit more of an effort to it, despite it being a shallow fly ball. But then another lazy fly ball right there to Tommy Jew, just kind of coasted in, taking maybe 10 steps in, had plenty of time to settle under it to make an easy grab for the second out. And Elliott, like you mentioned, Rob, just an out away as the Harbor Hawks are still up 2-0.
Meadows up here in the last out for Harwich, trying to get a rally going as they did, but Elliott quickly shutting it down. 2 outs. That first pitch swung and missed by Meadows, trying to hit a home run with that swing. A 1 pitch. That is a ground ball that will be foul. Wenzel there still making the play, not knowing if they were going to call it fair or foul.
It was right on the line coming down the third base side, but squiggled just to the left before getting to the bag. And now Elliott finds himself in an 0-2 count. The entire Harbor Hawks bullpen standing up out there. Hyannis just one out and 1 pitch away from another victory.
0-2 pitch. Elliott in the set. 0-2 pitch. Just outside. There. 1-2. Meadows was not enticed by that pitch. 1-2. Elliott with the pitch. That is a ball. It's now 2-2. Elliott with 2 pitches that Meadows could easily swing at, but did not entice at it. It's 8:25 here in Hyannis. And a great crowd. 2-2 pitch. Ball just high, runs the count at 3-2. Join us after the game when it ends, as Chris Lucey will have our post-game show for us, as he'll recap everything about today and then another game that happened in the league today, as this was a makeup from over a weekend. 3-2 pitch. Ball just foul as both the runners were going.
Well, Elliott looked like he lost his command a little bit toward the back end of this at bat after getting 2 quick strikes. Kind of was all over the zone with the 3 balls that he placed into his catcher, Kyle Wilkie, but finds himself in a 3-2 count. Spotted up a good fastball there that the hitter in Meadows fouled off, and still just 1 pitch away.
3-2 here. Time will be called as Wilkie and Elliott meet. Adam Elliott, a two-way player, both in the infield and can pitch as well. Count has run full at 3-2. Adam Elliott trying to get the save. 3-2 pitch. Just foul, lands behind the backstop here, the brick backstop here at McKeon Park. Lindsley at first came in thinking that the ball was coming to him. Count is full at 3-2. The runners will be going. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three, and that will do it here at McKeon Park. The final is 2-0. Hyannis continues to win. Hasn't lost in a while. And the final is 2-0. Lyle, what a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Pitching, taking center stage here at McKeon Park tonight, really for both teams respectively. But Jeremy Randolph, 4 2/3 scoreless inning. Ryan Pepio, 2 1/3 scoreless, continuing to dominate after a couple of shaky first outings. And then Elliott slamming the door here in the ninth, making a multi-inning appearance here for the Harbor Hawks. He's really, really been a force at the back end of that bullpen. Staying on Adam Elliott for a quick second. He's thrown some important innings in this young summer, and for a guy who doesn't throw incredibly hard, has kept hitters off balance so well. And you mentioned it, Rob. Now 4 in a row for Hyannis. Haven't lost in a week's time. Their last defeat came Tuesday when they lost to the Wareham Gatemen at Spillane Field. And they'll take on those same Gatemen here at home tomorrow to try to make it 5 in a row. This team really, really hot right now, anchored by that pitching.
They sure are. Well, we're going to send it to a break. We'll be right back for the postgame show with Chris Lucey. 2-0 final here in Hyannis. Here in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright. Magic Works Media copyright.
wrapping things up here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks post-game show, and a big win for Hyannis in record time. They're dancing in the streets in Hyannis. A 2-0 win for the Harbor Hawks in game number 13 against the Mariners out of Harwich. And Robert Marcello is joining me, Chris Lucey, in the broadcast booth right now. Robert called the second half of play-by-play today. And Rob, let's start this off right where everyone's thinking. We'll get the pitchers of record in. Ryan Pepio takes the win in this one, although it was a great starting performance from Jeremy Randolph. We'll get to him in a minute. But Pepio advances to 1-0 on the year. Unfortunately for Will Matheson, despite 3 innings of scoreless and hitless baseball, he is handed the loss. And Adam Elliott, after a shaky 9th inning, is able to wrap up the save. All right, Robert. So first off, Jeremy Randolph, 4 2/3 innings pitched, only 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He doesn't get the win, but my goodness, I think he can wrap this up as a win in his book generally because he looked outstanding. What did you see him do particularly well out there today?
I think he worked very quickly. I think really good command of his pitches. And anytime you're able to do that, you're going to win a game.
I mean, you talk about working quickly. This game, a 6 o'clock first pitch, wrapped up at 8:27 p.m., chalk that up to a 2-hour and 27-minute game. Here's your hat. Where's your hurry on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks postgame show? And it's a 2-0 win for Hyannis. So offense not really coming in droves for the Harbor Hawks. But if we're going to look around, you have to start in the bottom of the 4th inning where Davis Wenzel not only logged the first hit of the game for Hyannis, but got a 1-out triple that eventually set the table for Trevor Hopper to drive in the game's first run with a clutch RBI single. How did he barrel it up?
He just kind of sat back on the pitch. Both him and Todd Bott do a very good job of just sitting back on the pitches, being able to shoot them out to either side of the field, and he did that with a base hit right up the middle to put them up 1-0.
Trevor Hopper finished his day 1 for 2 with a single and a walk in this one. A 2-0 Hyannis Harbor Hawks win out here at McKeon Park. The Harbor Hawks haven't lost in over a week. Chalk this up to a big winning streak for Hyannis. I mean, that's the 2 games yesterday, and then the win against Falmouth as well. A 3-game win streak for Hyannis. Capped off here with its 4th win in its past 4 games. The 2-0 W against the Harwich Mariners, and then off of a zany sequence in the bottom of the 8th inning, Tommy Jew getting the infield single, then forcing an error on the throw from the shortstop. That brought around Kyle Wilkie to score and gave a little bit of insurance for Adam Elliott as he came to wrap things up in the top of the 9th, where it got a little bit dicey. He gave up singles to the first 2 batters he faced. How did he find his center and calm himself down in the midst of all that chaos?
I think it really just came all down to mental toughness for Elliott. He's a 2-way player. He does very good in both roles. And I think really the big thing, a part of the game, was when the Harbor Hawks were able to get that second run. I think without it, Elliott gets a little shaky and potentially ties the game.
Well, Elliott was able to hold on despite 2 singles to start the inning, gets 2 outs by contact, and then finishes things off with a big swinging strikeout on a full count to Mason Meadows to end the game in a blistering 2 hours and 27 minutes here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. A quick one, 2-0 the score in favor of the Harbor Hawks, who advanced to 8-4-1 on the season, and as of now, creep 1 point away from first place with 17 points to Wareham's 18 atop the Western Conference standings. And Rob, I'll ask you one last question before I let you go here. Tomorrow, Hyannis takes on the Wareham Gatemen at home. As we mentioned, they're within 1 point of each other in the Western Division standings. Tomorrow is a massive game with playoff implications. How does Hyannis keep its cool and possibly take the top spot in this division?
I think Hyannis has to continue to pitch very well. We saw in Wareham the last time we were there. The pitching wasn't that great, and I think that's really when things started taking a turn for the best. So I think Wareham's going to come in tomorrow expecting a different team than they saw just a week ago.
Last time those 2 ball clubs faced off, Wareham got the better of Hyannis 9-0. Rob, thank you so much for joining me. I'll let you get down to the field so you can get ready for our post-game coverage. I'll be anchoring that. It's Hawk Talk, and you can catch that after the game right here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks YouTube page. We'll have highlights and interviews up on our SoundCloud page as well tonight. Just check out the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on SoundCloud. I'm Chris Lucey, again, wrapping up a 2-0 win for Hyannis out here at McKeon Park. But before I bid you adieu here on the broadcast, let's take a quick look around the league. Only one other game going on in the Cape right now. Brewster is trailing Orleans 3-0. The Whitecaps and the Firebirds, the only two teams on the Cape that have been swept in doubleheaders, both by Hyannis. So, poetic justice that they're playing together right now. Orleans leads 3-0 over at Eldridge Park after taking a tough loss down in Orleans yesterday to the Harbor Hawks. And that's in the top of the fifth, courtesy of a 2-run home run from Spencer Steer. It was knotted up at 1 when the ball was struck, and now a 3-1 advantage for the Firebirds. That one getting to the bottom of the fifth down at Eldridge Park once again. 2-0 the final score from McKeon Park. But while we're taking a look around, let's take a look at some Hawks that have actually stepped up a level and made a splash and gone all the way to the major leagues. Jackie Bradley Jr. is having a pretty solid season with the Red Sox. 222 at-bats. He has 4 home runs and 8 stolen bases. 42 hits to boot. And meanwhile, we shift over to the National League to check on Kyle Freeland, former Harbor Hawk. He's the 5th starter for the Rockies. 7-6 record, a 3.35 ERA, 15 games started, 91 1/3 innings pitched, and 77 strikeouts in the midst of a great season out in Colorado. And we'll wrap up the look around the major leagues with a quick check-in on Sean Manaea, the 2012 Cape League Outstanding Pitcher of the Year for the Harbor Hawks. He's the #1 starter for the Athletics, and he is having an outstanding season. 7-6, 3.40 ERA in 16 starts, 102 1/3 innings pitched, 75 strikeouts. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he is loving the month of June. In 4 starts, he's 2-0 with a 2.81 ERA, pitched 25 innings, and he has struck out 19 batters, only allowing 8 earned runs over the life of those 4 starts. So Sean Manaea, just as he did out here in Cape Cod for the Harbor Hawks, is dominating the best competition in the country and the world, for that matter. So that's it here on Hyannis Harbor Hawks Post-Game Live. One more time, I'm Chris Lucey. Also, the final score here, 2-0 Hyannis over Harwich. Be sure to catch us back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network tomorrow at 5:35 for the start of pregame coverage before Hyannis and Wareham, the 1 and 2 of the Western Division, square off right here in Hyannis. One last time, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great evening, everybody. On behalf of the entire broadcast team, Lyle, Goldstein, Robert Marcello, and Dani Terzer, I'm Chris Lucey.